So one button that we haven't played with yet is this button up here. This allowed us to edit, this allowed us to add a page. This button has all kinds of powerful things that we can do to change and manage and organize the site. So when you click on it, you can see all sorts of things here. One very useful thing to know is that you can delete a page. I'd need to be in the managed site to be able to do this at the moment, but you can delete pages if they're not what you want them to be. As we work through here, there's some powerful things and you can really mess up your site quite a bit. So be careful when you're in this space and think carefully about what you're trying to do before you do it. But if we scroll down here to sharing and permissions, you'll see that you can decide who can see your site and how. So at the moment it's set by default that anyone with a UWC-SEA login, so anyone with an email at UWC-SEA, can see your site. They can't edit it, they can just view it. We could change it to edit, but we probably wouldn't want to do that. Anyone at UWC-SEA can see your site. You can change that so that anyone with the link, or it could be public on the web. You probably don't want to go public on the web, and you definitely don't want to go public on the web if you haven't been very careful about making sure that you've only used images that you have permission to use. You should do that anyway, but it's particularly important if you're sharing work publicly on the web that you've shown respect and you've not used other people's material without permission. One thing you might want to do is change it to anyone with the link. And the reason you might want to do that is because then you can share your site with your grandma and she'll be able to open it and see it when you share the link, but it means that people out in the world can't actually find your site. They can't search on Google and find it. They can only open it if someone shared the link. So I'm going to save that, and I'll show you one other thing that you can do that's kind of nice. If you want your partner to be able to edit your site, or your teacher, then you can give specific people the right to change your site. So you can add their email address here, and you can make them a viewer. Well, they're going to be that anyway if they're at UWC, but you can make them by default. This is going to add them as an editor, or you could change them to make them the owner. You probably don't want to make someone the owner. The owner, which is you, has the power to delete the site, to change kind of the really big things on the site. The editor can go in and change anything on individual pages, but can't delete the site or can't change the basic structure of the site. So invite your partner to be editor, maybe your teacher to be editor, but keep yourself as the owner. Lots of other powerful things that we can do here in terms of changing the way the site looks. Cancel. So I'm just going to go back to the site. Lots of things you could do in there in changing the way the site looks. You can change the background images, you can change the layout of this as well. You can change what we can see up here, you can change what we can see up here. Basically, you can change everything on the site if you want to, but it starts to get more and more complex. So don't start doing that kind of work until you're pretty happy that you've got everything that you want that explains your poverty learning. And don't start doing that work unless you're feeling like you really want to experiment and learn a little bit more about the potential.